fastest lap on the last lap of the race was Mitchell Carr with a 1:11.049, but Brodie Waters a 1:11.112, so only 1/10 of a second slower than the fastest man on track. But have a look at that top four: a 1:11.0, a 1:11.0, a 1:11.1, and a 1:11.1. That's pretty close for the top four.
Yeah, Brodie's, I think the Suzuki's actually a little bit down on speed down the straight. Looking in the infield here, Brodie's just about on the back of him again. Well,
you mentioned a little bit down on speed at the end of the front straight. You've also mentioned the importance of getting good drive. Would that rear end grip issue that he's been having possibly be contributing to that?
Well, I think they've obviously improved the bike a lot with the performance so far. So maybe just struggling coming onto the straight, or the different gearing, or don't know. But in the middle of the track here, he's quite fast, but he lost quite a bit down the straight.
Levi Day having a great ride, still maintaining 5th position ahead of Chris Quinn on bike number 82. Ryan Taylor up into 7th on bike number 52, just getting the better of Mitch Levy, who also got off to a great start on that Racer's Edge Suzuki GSX-R 600. Then it's Adam Senior in position number 9, who's just got the better of Christian Casella as well in position 10, and Anthony Quinn in position number 11.
I think Josh Hook's going to have a go up into the first turn here. Up the inside he goes.
How was the speed of that Paul Free prepared Honda down the long front straight? Can he hold it in tight?
Yes,
well,
he does.
It wasn't as tight as he possibly could have been, but it was tight enough to make sure that there was no room up the inside for Mitchell Carr. Remember the great quote from Shannon Johnson a few years ago: all I need is 3.5 inches to get my front tyre in there, but didn't leave enough room for Mitchell Carr.
No, he's going to start blocking now. He's really fast in the infield section.
And look at Brodie Waters. He certainly maybe loses a little bit towards the end of the straight, but look how much he closes up through the tight and technical area of this circuit. And using it dirt track style, you can see the back end pumping as he comes out of the Dunlop's hairpin up there, and gets on the power hard. Loses a little bit of drive out of that slow corner too as they make their way up towards the top end of the circuit.
The Triumph's definitely got the grip. It's using the torque of that motor to get off the corners. He's picking it up a little bit quicker too onto the centre of the tyre.
Well, Josh Hook leads them now as they come out onto the straight. Mitch Carr sitting in 2nd place, Glenn Scott in 3rd, Brodie Waters in 4th. Brodie's doing a fantastic job here to hang on to the leaders.
He's losing a lot of time down the straightaway, isn't he, young Brodie?
He's losing a lot of time down the straight, and he's doing a Nick Waters type braking effort to try and catch everybody up as they get down into turn 1.
Yep.
Look, all of that distance that he lost on the straight has pretty much been made up as they hit the apex of turn 1. This is unbelievable riding from Brodie Waters on that Team Suzuki Racing GSX-R 600.
He's having a red hot go. He's just sideways everywhere.
Look at Glenn Scott now. He's got trying to find a way past Mitchell Carr, but at the same time,
look how much ground Brodie makes up there on the brakes into the right-hander.
He is a demon on the brakes. When I spoke to him yesterday, he said that the Brembo brakes on the new Suzuki was taking a little bit of a while to get used to them after the brakes that they had last year. And just to hold it in relatively tight as well. Mitchell Carr can't do anything about it. Glenn Scott's closed right up in 3rd place as well. And Brodie Waters didn't have the ability to get as close on the brakes then because he lost so much distance on that last lap.
Losing massive amounts on the straightaway. It's very unusual.
A 1:11.5 for Brodie Waters on that last lap, whereas Josh Hook and Glenn Scott were both doing 1:11.1s, and Mitchell Carr did a 1:10.997. Fastest lap of the race so far was Josh Hook with a 1:10.796.
Great rider to watch young Josh Hook. Sideways everywhere. Have a look at that. He doesn't mind the bike working underneath him.
That was me. I'd be heading straight off to the laundry. Wooden completing the 17-lap journey, Marty Craggle, as they make their way past the Honda signs. It is the Honda leading from the triumph of Mitchell Carr.
Lit up, and he's very good on the throttle.
So Glenn Scott's riding well as well. Right behind him, you can see him starting to get a little bit of movement around the Glenn Scott Racing Yamaha YZF-R6 as he went up into the hairpin there. Didn't seem to faze him, kept good corner speed as they made their way out of the hairpin. As they head up towards the top end of the circuit now, they'll come round to complete 8 laps. So we're getting up towards half race distance now. The tyres are really starting to move around. Perhaps this is the time that Brodie Waters will come back into it as the tyre grip starts to go away from our top 3.
That's going to just kill his drive down the straight. He's losing a good half a second every lap.
Well, speaking of lap times, Marty, Glenn Scott then did a 1:10.898, whereas Mitchell Carr was a 1:11.0, a 1:11.1 for Mitchell Carr, a 1:11.0 for Josh Hook, and a 1:11.5 for Brodie Waters. So he lost half a second on that lap alone.
Yep, and he ran wide into 1. He's just lost another 2 or 3 tenths just going around the long way around turn 1. He won't give up though. If he can get back onto the back of him, I'm sure he will. Sideways out of there, it's just pumping everywhere.
You can see how hard he's working too. The body language of bike number 25, or the rider on bike number 25, is just watching this battle at the moment between Levi Day and Ryan Taylor on 57 and 52. They're having a great battle up there as they come out of the hairpin. Chris Quinn in a lonely position at the moment in 5th place. He's got no one in front of him. He's got no one behind him. But someone that's got someone right behind him is Mitchell Carr on 35. He's got Josh Hook on 34 and Glenn Scott all over the back of him. And let's have a look to see what Brody's been able to do on this lap. Can he maintain that distance? A 1:11.1 for Mitchell Carr on the last lap. 1:11.1 again. 1:11.1 for all of our top three, and another 0.6 of a second lost by Brodie Waters on that lap. It's out to 2.5 seconds to the race lead.
Yeah, it's going to struggle now. 1:11.7 for Brodie, so that's for sure. He'll just be keeping an eye on his board or his lap timer on his dash and just trying to punch up solid laps.
Whereas Levi Day, Ryan Taylor engaged in mortal combat there for 6th and 7th place at the moment. This race will be over before they know it.
Yeah, they're having a great time. Have a look at them. They're just toing and froing.
Levi Day, as we said, won the Phil Irving Trophy at the Island Classic this year, so he's displayed not only his speed on the Supersport machinery, but also on Period 3 Classic machinery as well. Also being given the honour of being part of the English team, I believe, in the International Island Challenge, where he rode the Period 3 bike in amongst all the big Period 5 unlimited machines with excellent results.
The top three there are back to 11.3 and 11.2, and Brodie Waters back to 11.9, 11.980, so nearly a 12 flat.
Well, Josh Hook back into the lead now as they make their way out of the hairpin. Oh, no, I was going to say I thought he was back in the lead, but it is Mitchell Carr back in, still in the lead. But as they came up the top of the hill there, I thought that was Josh Hook in the lead, and I thought, what's going on there? I didn't see that.
The Mitchell Carr definitely got, look at the punch on that bike out of that hairpin.
Well, that's the slowest point on the track. I think 57 kilometres an hour for the Superbikes. Supersports maybe a fraction quicker, Marty, because we know that they can carry more corner speed.
Could be a little bit quicker, but I doubt it, especially the way these guys are lighting up the rear tyre. I don't think they'll be getting too much corner speed happening at the minute.
Well, Triumph 675 leads.
Look at the drive on the Triumph. They're just solid as a rock. The other guys are just lighting it up.
Leads from the CBR 600 of Josh Hook, and the Yamaha YZF R6 of Glenn Scott. A big gap back now. It was getting out towards 6 seconds over Brodie Waters. 6.5 seconds now. He's lost another, half a second on that last lap, has Brodie Waters, to our race leaders. They're all in the 1:11s. 1:11.0 for Mitchell Carr. So he was 0.2 of a second faster than Josh Hook and 0.3 of a second faster than Glenn Scott.
Yep. Lap 14 we're at, and he's just at a 1:11 flat, so he wants to get away. So there's no challenge on the last lap. That's
also 0.3 of a second off his fastest lap of the race, which was set very early on. So with 3 laps to go, to be setting those sort of lap times shows not only consistency, but that tyre degradation advantage that the Triumph may have over the others that you spoke about earlier. Yeah, definitely got to do with the way he's riding the bike as well. For sure the bike's got an advantage, but he's just getting it up on the centre of the tyre a lot quicker than the other two. Like Josh is spectacular to watch, but he's just spending that little bit longer on the side of the tyre, which is it's costing him time. It looks great. Have a look at that. He's sideways basically from the apex. Well, look like he's getting on the gas there. You can see the bike literally skipping over the surface here at Darwin's Hidden Valley. The ducktail moving around as he got on the gas, and Glenn Scott looks like he's starting to come back as well. On that last lap, he was a 1:11.0. Josh Hook was a 1:10.9, a 1:10.9 also for Mitchell Carr. So the fastest of our top 3 on that last lap was Josh Hook by 1/100th of a second. Yeah, it's going to be a close one. Mitchell's having a red hot go there, bit of a wobble as he comes up to the right-hander, and Josh is trying to make up ground on the brakes. Well, Mitchell Carr won. Getting close enough though. Mitchell Carr won the second race at the first round of the championship, but unfortunately because it was cut short, only half points awarded. He went into this round with a half-point deficit under or behind Josh Hook. But as we go into this first race, he's taken back the championship lead. Glenn's dropped off. Desperate to extend that lead as they make their way around to complete another lap. They will get the last lap board on the completion of this lap. So there is 1 lap and about 4 corners to go for our race leader at the moment, Mitchell Carr. Josh Hook in second place, he's right behind. Glenn Scott in third, has lost a little bit on that last lap, Marty. He's lost probably 1 or 2 tenths of a second. He has, yes, definitely. I think Josh is going to have a red hot go on at turn 1 here.
trying to get past Mitchell Carr.
Oh, look at the speed. He's been able to utilise the slipstream there now as they go down into turn 1. Josh Hook just can't get past him.
I think he's done it.
Oh, he has got past him.
Yep.
That was decided at the very last minute as they made their way into turn 1, wasn't it?
Can't leave it any later than that. The guys are just waiting for the other guy to put on the brakes. He's going to leave it. He's just going to block now, and so Mitchell can't get past, and then he's just got to get good drive onto the straight, and he'll get his first win under the belt.
Well, Mitchell Carr's got a bit of work to do now to try and get past Glenn Scott. He's run wide. Carr's up the inside.
A bit of a touch.
And Mitchell Carr will go back into the lead on the run down the hairpin, but I think the Triumph may have the punch out onto the main straight. We saw that Hook's fast, but it's past where the start-finish line is.
Yep.
Mitchell Carr has only got to hang on to the start-finish line. That little mistake from Josh Hook, he will be ruining that mistake as he speaks to Lauren Vickers after this race.
But you could put that one down to experience. He's going to run it wide and then cut it in tight and try and get good drive, but he's just a bit of a slide there.
No more corners to go. It's the run down the straight to determine the winner of this race, and I think Mitchell Carr will hang on. The Arc Electrical Ensure My Ride Triumph takes victory.
Yeah, it was a close battle. I knew he was hanging on the whole way, and he went in a little bit hot till that last lap into that hairpin, and thought I had to pick it up gap and he touched me. I apologise to Josh and right at the race, but I felt it wasn't a dirty move, but I seen the opening and I took it, and we're all out here to win. I think I just want to
I had to get off to a good start and just hang in there. And, my rear grip wasn't that great. It just took the word go. So I just had to, luckily he wasn't lapping as fast as he was in the first race, so I could stay with him, and he tried to have a bit of a dip on the last lap there, and we came together on the hairpin over the back, and that's set me down a bit. So it's unfortunate that I settled for second, but